Good morning and welcome to Online Chats. My name is Diane Cohen and it is my pleasure to be with you. Today marks the 32nd anniversary for MacroPro. And today we have the pleasure to interview Patty Waldeck, the president and CEO of MacroPro. MacroPro is a document retrieval company that is nationwide and in fact it is international as well. So welcome Patty to Online Chats. How are you today?
It's a great day, Diane. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for asking me.
So 32 years is a long time. It's quite an accomplishment. And
Yeah.
I imagine that in the early days, there was, it was fun and it was a little bit campy at times trying to get things done because I've heard some stories. Can you share with us one of the stories about a light switch?
Sure. So in the early days, it was microfilm. We always had to go out and microfilm. We needed microfilm cameras. We needed microfilm. We needed a film processor. And it was really quite labor intensive. And so the first place that I had was 1,100 square feet with one light switch. And so every time we developed film, we had to turn the lights off. So we were all sitting there in the dark waiting for the film to get developed. And I was really quite relieved when we moved to another two suites when we needed more room and we had more than one light switch.
So what are the things that you're most proud of with MacroPro?
Well, you're proud of everything because you never think you're going to get to where you are, or maybe you do think it, but you're still got your fingers crossed. And I think right now, the current things that I'm most proud of, besides our wonderful staff who have years of experience and people like you, Diane, who just bring such a wonderful energy to MacroPro. I think the newest things I'm proud of are our sister state subpoenas, where we can get subpoenas from one state out of another state. It's very labor intensive and knowledge intensive, and it's quite necessary for a lot of our clients. I'm very proud of our IT department, which is there to help our clients get the assistance they need in their technology, whether it's direct download from our servers or a special report they need or some kind of information. I'm really proud of our nurses, our nurse employees. They have state-of-the-art summaries. They look for the things that really pertain to the claim, and they highlight them for the client so that they know that this is something you might want to look at, because I don't know anything about preconditions or anything, but they do, and so it's super helpful for the clients. They can just drill down to what they need and or search on what they need.
22 years ago when I joined your company, I never dreamt that we would have on-staff nurses. I wouldn't have dreamt that we would have a full-time education department that provides MCLE credits to attorneys and CEU credits to the examiner. So you've always been on the cutting edge, willing to provide services that other companies, quite frankly, don't think it's part of their bailiwick, and yet it is really all about customer service. Now,
Right.
let's talk a little bit about becoming an expert. In order to become an expert, you have to be in an industry for 10 years. How many experts do you have on your team?
In the 70s. I think like 79, but I'm not positive. But it's a lot, and these people are. I think one of the important things that I've learned, that I started the business with, really is that value your employees and keep the good ones around. And gee, we're really lucky because we've kept a lot of good ones.
So I'm thinking of one in particular employee where his department was charged with getting records from out of the country. We're told records were in the Spanish-speaking country, and we sent one employee or on the phone and called and said, okay, can we get these records? No, no records. And we did it again and again. We did it 7 times before we were able to get those records. Did you ever think that you would have an international company?
No, but our clients did. you, you get something new and they go, can you do this? And then you say, yes. And then you figure out how to do it. That's how it's always been. I've been called Pollyanna because I always think we can do it. And we have. I mean, what do you need? We'll figure it out.
So last year we went to the EWC conference, whose theme was around the world. So that got us to dig in a little bit to find out where have we gotten records from around the world. And so we have gotten records from a minimum of 32 countries that we were able to figure out. It's probably more than that. And we have been on 6 continents for our clients. I think that's quite an amazing accomplishment. And that's all because you have such a can-do attitude. And our clients have really benefited from that. So let's talk a little bit about the pandemic. On March 13th, it was called. That was on a Friday at 1 o'clock. I happened to be at the corporate office, and I remember seeing you get together with Monique, the vice president of our IT department, and said, we need to deploy our pandemic plan. And then on Monday, we were at work. Tell us a little bit about that, because we were shut down for 3-4 hours maybe?
Not even that, actually. We had worked out a disaster recovery plan that was actually in place. And we also had the software we needed and the hardware we needed to just get people remote. And we made sure they had what they needed to get going. And on Monday, we had a lot of people in remote positions so that we didn't have that many people in the office. So that worked great, because if we hadn't had the hardware and the software we needed, we couldn't have done it. And then we also moved people to different shifts, the people that had to be in the office. So we have shift work. And right now we're doing the spacing and the masks and everything, and everybody's A-okay.
So I do want to tell those listeners out there that things have changed because of the pandemic. And one of the things that's changed is a lot of our custodians are closed, so we're unable to get records from them at all, which of course slows down the turnaround time. Is there anything else that you would like to tell our audience today about what is happening with records, the entire industry?
Sure. We serve a lot of our subpoenas in person, and even our authorizations, especially if they're to big facilities, everything goes together. So a lot of facilities will not let us serve in person. So that's fine. We're now mailing all our subpoenas pretty much, even the civil subpoenas, observing the timing on them to be correct, so that there's 10 days plus that added 15 for the custodian. And we have been very lucky. We're getting records in on at least 75% of the subpoenas we send out. The other 25% we believe are facilities that are closed. We continue to call and try to get a hold of someone, but I'm sure they've got a lot of stuff to go through. I know when I'm out for a day, I have a pile of things that I have to sort, so I understand that there's going to be some delays. And then I just want to say one more thing, is our service doesn't stop when you decide to use us. Our service continues, and we believe that that is the most important thing that we can offer to you, because that's what you need to get your job done. And it's like Diane and her group of wonderful people doing seminars and training for CEUs and MCLEs. That's just because we think that we have an obligation to bring whatever we can to our clients. Service doesn't stop at MacroPro. We make our promises to you before we get the business, and we keep them after we get the business. And I think we have fabulous clients, fabulous employees, and fabulous people that help us do our job, the vendors that help us do our job. And I am very, very proud of everyone.
Well, thank you so much. And again, happy anniversary, Patty, to you and the entire staff.
Thank you, Diane. I appreciate it.